Big city life we try forget by. Hi, my name is Stephanie. I am a social worker, anthropologist, trainer, consultant and expert in anti-racism, intersectionality, climate justice, decolonization, feminism, queerness, and biraciality. Last summer, I was a spokesperson for a Belgian network for Black Lives, who organized a Black Lives Matter march in Brussels last year, which was actually quite a legendary moment and will be remembered in Belgian history. I'm also a curator, speaker, and live in Brussels. I'm honored to speak to you and will tell you a few things I think you should think about when wanting to create a more inclusive city. I created this title, Big City Life We Try Forget By, to refer to the song by Matafix. We want to forget the past, and the city is actually built from the past. The past is something that informs our future. We can't forget when monuments and other places in the city want us to remember. By remembering, you see the systems of inequality and how these systems of yesterday are still relevant and present today. First of all, cities, such as all spaces, were created to serve a dominant group. Before the women's rights movement, the city was a place for men, only men. Women were supposed to stay home, cook, clean, and so on. They were supposed to exist only within the private space. Public space was for men. It was designed for men. They were supposed to work and be the main breadwinner. Cities were designed for men. An example of this is public toilets. For men, public toilets were installed to meet their needs. When they were on the road, when they had to go quickly from one space to another, they did not have to wonder where to pee. Women cannot pee in public space so easily. They have to find a place again inside to do the same, often paying to do so. This is one of many examples where we see that when creating the city, we only thought about one specific identity, the identity of a white, hetero, able-bodied, cis male, preferably rich. Another example that shows how cities are made for one specific identity is street stones. Some places have kept stones from the Middle Ages. Think of Ghent, Brugge, Brussels, and many other places in our country. On these wobbly stones, horses rode the rich in carriages. These roads never considered people that were in wheelchairs. These people did not exist for them when creating these places. People who were not so rich and how they would access the city was also not important. Specifically thinking from this able-bodied privilege is how we see public space and how it was created. It is completely inaccessible for people in wheelchairs or have other physical disabilities. People who are in a wheelchair have to check which restaurants, buildings, and so on are accessible for them. Can you imagine having to call a train conductor just to get on? This again shows how the city was created without certain people in mind. The city was created with only one specific identity in mind. Again, that of the able-bodied, cis hetero white, preferably man. Cities were not built for the poor. Homeless people are blamed for their situation while it is one that could be resolved. There are enough empty houses and empty spaces, but these must be kept empty to keep the price of real estate up. Our cities were not built for everyone. They were built for one specific identity. You either are this identity or not. But where did this labor to build our beautiful cities come from? To create these royal courtyards, extravagant museums, majestic parks, and so on and so on and so on. This is something we rather not talk about, something we hide yet is also on full display and we know it very well. Our cities, our country is built on the riches of the countries we colonized. The colonization of Congo, Rwanda, Burundi made Belgium rich. Our way of life is always at the cost of someone else, and this someone else is more often than not a black or brown person. We do not live in post-colonial times just yet. We live in neo-colonial imperialism. This still serves one identity, that of the able-bodied, cis-hetero, rich white man. We see Leopold II streets, Leopold II roads, Leopold II buildings, Leopold II statues, Leopold, who killed more people than Hitler did. But these people were black. These people were just Congolese. These people were just Rwandese. These people were just Burundian. So that doesn't matter, right? Our country, our lands are built for a dominant group. If you're a part of this group, you are lucky. You are privileged. You are oblivious to how easy, how tailored things are made to suit you. Your normality is a world that caters to you. You will not be scared of the police, of the government, of the statues of violent colonizers because they look like you. You will not be afraid to ride your scooter and get killed. You will not be afraid to just be around Gare du Midi and die there, Ibrahima. You will not have to flee a country due to Western imperialism and get shot in the head, being only a 2-year-old child, Mauda. You will not be put in display in a park so that other people can throw food at you in a human zoo, Tervuren. You will not be assassinated and have your killer keep your tooth as a reminder, Patrice Lumumba. You will not have your family ask for justice and hope that they may one day bury you, Lamine. You will not. You will not be one of the never-ending names that we know of and do not know of that were killed yesterday and will be killed tomorrow. The city was built for you. The city was built for you. The borders were built for you. Remember that the city was built for one specific identity. If you are that identity, it is your job to listen, remember, and rebuild it. If you are not that identity, it is your job to be. Be who you are. That's enough. Listen and remember, listen and remember. Remember that today is built on the past. Remember that for one to be powerful, another must be weakened. Remember that history is today and you are responsible for today and tomorrow. Remembering is your job, dismantling is your task. Every generation will succeed or fail. So let's succeed and rebuild.